we were talking about the commercial aspect. The IT means the information and technology, and the BPM means the business process management. Now we have seen that there are at least more than a lakh jobs to come. This is what is the prediction by the government. And the COVID-19, if the other companies come into the picture, they may have more this job, opportunities maybe quite more in this case. So what are the advantages in India? India's IT sector market is projected to reach $100 billion by 2025. So this is what is the potential in terms of money. So it's a huge amount, 100 billion multiplied by again 76. So in terms of Indian rupees. Then the ITBM exports from India are estimated to reach 126 billion. And this is the breakup, like IT services has 69 billion for US dollar, then BPM services has 28 billion. Then engineering and R&D services also has 80.94 billion. This was a figure in financial year 19. And the industry stands at IT BMS says that 181 billion for his financial year 19, and the industry is largest employer of workforce, which is around 4 million people. So this is the strength of India. From April to July to 2019, exports of computer and hardware peripherals and consumer electronics stood up at US dollar 130.99 million for the computer hardware, and for the peripherals it was still more, US dollar 148.90 million. So these are huge amounts calling and for you people to be a part of this business. And what by 2020 the government of India aims to empower at least one person per household with digital literacy skill. For the same, the government has launched various digital skilling initiatives that are aimed at empowering citizens with knowledge of using IT and mobile devices. How we should look at these things, what I am pointing out is that this digital skill uh, government is planning means you have a scope in education and hobby electronics to do something, to generate money, to have your own employment. So you should look all these points in this way. So where can I stay in this? How the situation is beneficial for me, or how can I make a use of the situation? By 2022, the IT industry in India is expected to increase employment about 2 million direct hires and 7.6 million indirect hires. These are huge potentials. Export of consumer electronics from India has already reached 148.9 million till July 19, and the top export destinations were USA, then UK, Singapore, Israel, and Belgium. So we might not be knowing what we are doing, Indians are doing to the other part of the world. We are exporting these many kind of different electronics in form of software, in form of consumer goods, hardware, and all these things. When we say electronics, we only can see that okay, it's a China or Taiwan, but no, we are also doing a lot, and we have a scope and potential, right? In this technology driven startups, India ranks third. This is the data from 2016. 4,750 new entrepreneurs have started their technology startup, which were completely technology driven. Means the engineers have started this, not the business ones. And an engineer who starts a business normally will not be a single. He will take few more people along with him. So he is making opportunities for others also. So it's a when we say engineer, normally it's a group of engineers, right? Then India has favorable government policies. This I think we should not talk much. You all know the industry offers a range of services from low-end application development to high-end integrated IT solutions across multiple verticals with a well-developed vendor base. The Indian IT software industry adheres to quality processes and standards. This is very most and important. Why I have included particular this point is that whatever you do it by heart, do it to meet the international standards. I have an experience when we used to export at my earlier companies, a single mistake they would not never accept it, and they will send back all the material or the containers, all the whatever the lots what we used to send. So be aware, whatever do you in the life, quality is most important. Without quality, your product will not survive or will not be accepted in the market. So this is what you should know right from your educational level. Whatever you study, do it by heart. Do it with some quality aspect. Why I'm doing it? Always there has to be a question why I'm doing this, whether I know it in a perfect way or not. See, getting through exams nowadays is very easy, but getting knowledge in your brain itself is very difficult. So do it with some quality work. The most companies aligning operations with international standards. That is what I have just mentioned. Software technology parks and the special economic zones in India provide an affordable real estate. This is a commercial aspect. Anybody who has money can buy a land in India now. Government recently has also declared, the lot of land to be made. It will be available for companies. The government has a strong focus on transforming the country into the cashless economy to promote the use of him. Nowadays, when we go to a coffee shop, we make use of pay. We don't pay by cash. There used to be earlier plastic money like credit cards and all. Now the credit card or the plastic money is also now obsolete. You pay by UPI. Am I right? When you go to a restaurant, coffee shop, for any party, then say, okay, you have a mobile and you pay it. So this is what is the future, and that calls for electronics engineer a lot of potential and scope. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has launched a MSH portal also. You can make use this. Why I have included these these points in your uh, presentation is because you should be aware that what is available. I can give you the index, the searching and the study one has to do by his own. This is just a pointing out where you can find the information. The ECS, the Electronic Computer Software Promotion Council, also has been now working on a large scale. It is offering comprehensive database of companies for searches, for product selections, and the capabilities of all major players. The council facilitates import, export collaborations. You should be aware of what is going on around you and or across the world also. So what are the joint ventures, which new companies are coming, which new companies India is going to be there outside. So all the tie-ups, subcontracting, technology transfers, this data is available, which is officially recorded with government. And also it provides access to published reports on market, products and trade statistics, business opportunities and government policies. As I said just now, this all is available on the internet. So you should make use of this. There are two types. One is you are only engineer or you are a successful businessman. So if you have to be a successful businessman with a technology driven product, then you should basically should be an engineer and also should know all these commercial aspects. Then only you can become a successful businessman. Or wherever you do the job, you can sell the products. If you're in marketing, if you in production, you should know the what is going on for high productivity and all these things. So you should know the market, you should know the industry. Now coming to the industry, uh, what is the in India? The growing sales figures. Just this is that I have collected some data. So very flourishing. Telecom and networking market is very growing, and the use of portable wireless products are increasing to a very large scale in India. And at present, they are providing stimulus to growth of the electronics industry to a greater scale. This is what just I have explained you. India has a well-developed electronics design industry with 120 design units and is ranked the second amongst all these US, UK, Germany, Sweden, China, Taiwan. If you see, you should think that which are the design agencies. You know the name Tata Consultancy Services or Tata Technologies. These are design units, design house. This is designers. You know Honeywell, you know L&T. These are very, very big design houses. They have a huge potential to recruit people and also to develop a different kind of products. They also are in field of elementary research. It's also one of the sector which I have not included because this the scope, it would have been, very large presentation otherwise. There are so many industries, almost 120 design units working in India. If you find, you can have a better opportunity over there also. It's not like that you have to go to Taiwan, China, or Canada, or Germany, or US, or UK. In India also, you can have all these things already available, right? Then the key drivers for the electronics market in India include telecom transfer infrastructure equipment like wireless handsets, notebooks, and other IT and office automation products. Set-top box. Set-top box means whatever you see on your TV. Now HD definition, high definition set-top box are in the market. You have smart cards. Smart cards are used for payments controlling, subscription control, payment control. The growth sector includes healthcare equipment, automotive, consumer goods, industrial goods, all of which increasingly use electronics, are also expected to boost electronics consumption in India and upon open up more investments opportunities for the non-residents also. In India, after Bangalore, Noida has now become a hub for electronic design industry with many major players setting up their official and research development centers in the city. Global MNCs are also like the Freescale, Mentor Graphics, Intera Systems, Wipro, many others. You just name it. They are now have office in Noida. Semiconductors and electronics are the heart of electronics industry driven products that will drive 400 billion US dollar Indian electronics by 2020. This is what just we have seen earlier. So the robust growth in Indian semiconductor industry has opened up a lot of opportunities to invest in electronic sector of India. Now coming to the future trends, a technical aspect. Now, Internet of Things. We talk much about the Internet of Things. What is so? Let's understand some of the technical things of the Internet of Things or future technical aspects of the future trends. So, what is Internet of Things? The term Internet of Things was first used in 1999 by British technology pioneer Kevin Ashton to describe a system in which objects in the physical world would be connected to the internet by sensors. Here you can see everything is connected. If you see the pictures are self-explanatory. So Internet of Things means you have a car and you have a mobile. So you are in the office, now you are time to go home and your journey is almost 1.5 hours to reach your home. So and this is a very hot season. So half an hour earlier, while sitting in the office, you start your car AC, cool your car, and when you leave the office, already the car is cooled enough, then you can drive comfortably. So this is done. This is so that your car is connected to the internet. So this is nothing but an Internet of Things. Here I should like to mention something. From your technical aspect is that Internet of Things is a global term which involves lot things. But for you people, basically to understand the scope, there are sensors which normally collects the data. Is very important, right? There are sensors which normally collects the data and transforms into a digital signal and transmitted over internet to the server or to a person where the decisions are made and actions are initiated. So this is a very simple statement, but can you see the potential of electronics? So you should have the sensor knowledge, how it transforms. So there are drivers, there are sensor handling routines, there are simple example is a temperature sensor. So you need to have ADC control because a temperature is an analog thing, which you need to convert into bring it into the digital world. You need to have a digital signal. So the analog to digital conversion takes place here from the temperature sensor. So if you look at the scope of an electronics engineer, so a person working on IoT at this level must have the knowledge of sensors and its electronic control. Then it's converted into the digital form. Then there are some special softwares, they format it to the packets, which data has to be sent over the protocol to the servers. So here the software person comes, and of course between the software and the sensor there is some control electronics, that is a hardware guy who can do the job, and for that hardware guy the PCBs has to be laid out. So this is an unending list of electronics engineers work. So Internet of Things is full of electronics, you can say. It's only your capabilities to imagine and implement. Let's go to the presentation. The Internet of Things is simply a network of internet connected objects able to collect and exchange data. It is commonly abbreviated as IoT. In a simple way to put, you have things that sense and collects data and send it to the internet. This data can as accessible by other things too. Like I said, you have a decision makers and all these things. The Internet of Things is an emerging topic of technical, social, and economic significance. Consumer products, durable goods, cars, trucks, industrial and utility components, sensors, and other everyday objects are being combined with the Internet. Connectivity and powerful data analytic capabilities that promise to transfer the way we work, the way we live, and the way we play. Projections for the impact of an IoT on the internet and economy are impressive, with some anticipating as many as 100 billion connected IoT devices and a global economic impact of more than 11 trillion US dollar by 2025. So look at the potential and the technical aspect also. You being an engineer, the way you think. Then the another industry which is also now talked about is the cloud. What is cloud? It's also a simple concept. Cloud computing is the use of hardware and software to deliver a service over the network, typically internet. With cloud computing, users can access files and use applications from any devices that can access the internet. An example of cloud computing provider is Google Gmail. What Gmail now is a part of your life is nothing but a cloud application. Unlike traditional computing where data is stored on your PC, a local hard drive, the data in the cloud is stored on many physical and or virtual servers that are hosted by a third-party service provider. An example of cloud computing file storage provider is a Dropbox, right? You have a Dropbox. How many have used the Dropbox? This is a concept basically. So if you are distantly located, one person works, puts the file into the Dropbox, another person receives it, checks it, and again with corrections put it into the same Dropbox, and the first person again is intimated and he receives it. So two distant persons located without irrespective of different hardwares, they can work on the same topic effectively, efficiently. The Doppler files can be accessed from any devices via internet. So either you have a mobile, you have a laptop, it's irrespective. The work goes on. A public cloud is based on the standard cloud computing framework, which consists of files, applications, storage, and services available to a public via the internet. Gmail, as I explained you, is a public cloud. Also, there are private cloud. Is also comprised of files, applications, storage, and services that are implemented and protected within corporate firewall under the control of a corporate IT department. An example, an example, an example of this is any company which is using Microsoft Exchange, because Exchange has full of security layers, and without authorization you cannot do anything. You need a secure VPN also. So if you look at the picture, the cloud computing can be broken up into three main services: software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service. This is cloud basically is a purely technical, what you can say, thing. So only I think engineers will understand this, what exactly it is. This also involves some commercial aspect that we will see at a later stage. But the use of cloud for a common person or common general public is that they can have their work or business running without investing in the hardware and software is the basic advantage. So use and pay. This is what is the nowadays uh, trend is going on everywhere in the life, right? So cloud I am covering a little more because this is a very promising technology which will require many of the engineers to get involved and indulged as their career option. So what cloud is basically SaaS, a software as a service. Software as a service, also known as cloud application service, also CAS, SaaS or CAS, so both are same, represents the most commonly utilized option for business in the cloud market. SaaS utilizes the internet to deliver applications which are managed by a third-party vendor to its users. A majority of SaaS applications run directly through your web browser, which means they do not require any downloads or installations on the client side. Client side means user side. Examples of SaaS are Google G Suite, Dropbox, Salesforce, Cisco WebEx, SAP Concur, and GoToMeeting. This Zoom is also a part of the SaaS, you can say. The meeting what we are doing now. The PaaS, that is platform as service. Cloud platform service, also known as platform service, provide cloud computer components to a certain software while being used mainly for applications. This is a more technical thing now. It usually provides a computing platform with a programming language execution environment. So you must, if you are working some application softwares or programming languages, you have to purchase it. How many of you know the CAD softwares? These are the softwares. To use the softwares, you have to pay. You have to buy those softwares, right? And if you buy it, then you have to invest a huge money. The license fees are not in thousands; they are in few lakhs, and that too every year you have to renew it. So if you spend those amount of money, and if you don't use it, then your money is wasted. So the best idea is when you use it, you pay it. So this is what a platform is provided for your development work. The CAD designers know it. This is not. This is basically a mechanical people. They use the CAD CAM software. For us, electronics communication students, there are many platforms like MetaLab or some platforms that they provide. They require licenses. So development environments. So you can hire them. So it's a concept of hiring. Whenever you want, you use it and pay it. For example, Apache Stratos, Amazon Web Services, Elastic Beanstalks, CloudBees, Cloud Foundry, Google App Engine, Heroku, and IBM Smart Cloud. Then IaaS, this is nothing but everything now. The infrastructure also is provided by the cloud provider. The cloud infrastructure services known as infrastructure as a service, IaaS, are made of highly scalable and automated compute resources. IaaS is fully self-service for accessing and monitoring computers, networking, storage, and other services. IaaS allows business to purchase resources on demand. This is very important. On demand. Whenever you require, you purchase it, and as needed, instead of having to buy hardware outright. So you save on initial investment, but you pay on rentals. This is a part of new business concept. Don't invest, pay, pay later. It's a credit card type of thing. So the examples of ISR, popular examples are include the DigitalOcean, Leonode, then Rackspace, Amazon Web Service, Cisco MetaCloud, and Microsoft Azure, and Google Compute Engine, CGCE, right? So these are the pictures that will in generally give you an overview how the things are managed or placed in. Again, another very big topic is the artificial intelligence. This is a very interesting topic, actually, really speaking. Here, the imagination is the only limit. Means you imagine and you have a scope in artificial AI or artificial intelligence. But we'll not go in much detail of the technicalities of this. We'll see what artificial intelligence is on a broader way. Concept wise, I'm just trying to clear off your concepts for these topics. AI is the branch of computer science that emphasizes the development of intelligent machines thinking and working like humans. For example, speech recognition. Apple Siri is best example, Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, and problem solving and learning and planning. There are basically, AI is categorized in 4 ways. First is reactive machines. Second is limited memory. Third is theory of mind. And last one is self-awareness. AI works by combining large amounts of data with fast, iterative processing and intelligent algorithms, allowing the software to learn automatically from the patterns of features in the data, right? What is the reactive machines are basically in that they do not store memories or use past experiences to determine future actions. They simply perceive the word and react to it. IBM's Deep Blue, which is defeated chess grandmaster Kasparov, is a classic example of reactive machine that sees the pieces on a chessboard and reacts to it. So this is a reactive machine, but this is an artificial intelligence, definitely. Then coming to limited memory machines. These are machines, in addition to having capabilities of purely reactive machines, are also capable of learning from the historical data to make decisions. Nearly all existing applications that we know of comes under this category of AI. The example, you can say, predictive dictionary. It learns by its own and becomes smart and smart. Google search engine is a day by day your search increases, it offers you more and more options. So it's a react. It has the capability of a reactive machine, as well as it stores something and gives you some more inputs also. So this is called as limited memory machines. Then the third one and the fourth one, this theory of mind is the ability to attribute mental states, beliefs, intents, desires, emotions, knowledge, etc. Theory of mind is crucial for everybody, human social interactions, and is used when analyzing, judging, and interfering others' behavior. So, theory of mind is a piece of software of artificial intelligence which works on human behavior. So, and which is very unpredictable. You know, the mood swings, those who have girlfriends, then they must be knowing what is mood swing, right? So this is something which is theory of mind, and this they are trying to convert it into the artificial intelligence. Then the artificial intelligence of self-aware, this is another way future topic, or which is an imagination. Stephen Hopkins has, he was a master of this kind of assumptions or thinking thinkers. He was a thinker of this kind. So the artificial consciousness (AC), also known as machine consciousness, MC, or synthetic consciousness, is a field related to artificial intelligence and cognitive robotics, technological, or it is also called as the technological singularity. Means here no life or human is considered. The technology or the piece of software and hardware, they become self-intelligent. So they start thinking like human. They will start producing their own generations. There are a lot of Hollywood movies based on this. Everybody must have seen these movies, right? Somebody, those who now remembers, can put the movie names in the chat box so that everybody will understand what are these movies. So lot of movies have been now created on the in this area of artificial intelligence. But for us, it's a good thing that it is still not in existence. This all is imaginary. But the science looks into the future, and this is what is looking into the future. That is an hypothetical future point in time at which technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unforeseeable changes to human civilizations. We don't know what will happen if this happens. So it all is with your limitation of imagination, right? And now the last but not the least one, that electronics industry future trends, which we could not cover it because of the time limitations. Like I said, hobby electronics, image processing, communication, then e-commerce, big data handling, and repair and maintenance services. Up to now, I think I did not. I have already talked on these topics when it was also in the earlier slide when the reference came. But these are, you can think, that areas which are future trends, which you can make your career, which you can think of going ahead with these options also and doing something in this, right? Now this is an interactive session. Just I will, you should know, just go and read it. What is the opportunity? In my opinion, me saying anything to you people or your moderators or teachers saying anything, it's you should look, should think of yours. We can only point out, oh, this can be a way. But you should think whether you are able to walk on the road or you need some support. Is deciding facility authority is you. Now there is a big difference. Now you people are student. When you come to real life, there will not be any spoon feeding kind of thing. And you can learn this slide as the first step of removing your spoons from the teacher's hand. So you have to take your own spoon, you have to take your own tools to dig and find the gold where it is hidden, and how can you have to also find the way. You have to learn yourself. A good term is that you can use in life from now is SPL, that is self-paced learning, and which is a very important part for making decisions by your own. So opportunities finding is a decision by your own, right? So I can only tell you it will all depend on what is your inclination, means which area, which sector. Some people like movies or musics, they can have their career in music, electronics, instrumental sound. Some people like, you know, playing with hardware, so they can go in semiconductor industry. Some people like money, so they can go in e-commerce. Some people like meeting people, they can go in sales, electronic sales. Some people like a monotonous work, or they have the abilities, so they can go in production. So it's all what is your inclination. Another point important for you to making decisions is think now, where do you look yourself in future, say after 5 years, 10 years. So decide your goal. Without goal, walking is aimless. Without aim, running is useless. Then thinking to join established organization, if you think that you are uh, you can say mediocre person, or यार मुझे इतना ही करना है, आई जस्ट वांट टू हैव अ गुड जॉब, गुड लाइफ, एक घर हो, बीवी हो, बच्चे हो, एक अच्छा सा हस्बैंड हो, एंड देन आई कैन सुबह जाऊंगा 9 बजे, 5 बजे घर पे आऊंगा. सो यू कैन ज्वाइन एन एस्टेब्लिश ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. लेकिन उसमें भी कौन सा सेक्टर में आपका इंटरेस्ट है, दैट यू हैव टू लुक इनटू. इफ यू आर an enthusiastic person ready to take risk, and if you are a technological you can say typhoon, or not typhoon, if a technological driven person, दिमाग बहुत ही ज्यादा चलता है, घर पे बोलते हैं कि नहीं यार ये तो कुछ करेगा, देन गो फॉर अ स्टार्टअप. लेकिन उसमें भी आपको सोचना है कि फ्यूचर ट्रेंड में कैसे करना है, बिकॉज स्टार्टअप नीड्स लॉट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजिकल स्ट्रेंथ. Just I have just now told you that COVID-19 had changed the scenario of the world now. Many companies are trying to shift their business from China. So India could be one of the destination. And if India could be one of the destination, you could be a part of it and you could be beneficial. The last one is always thinking on for the opportunities or any part of the life. These are some, quotes that have been really fit into our life. We don't take them seriously. Winners don't do things differently. Winners don't do different things. They do things differently. It's quoted by Mr. Shiv Khera. Then be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. This is by Oscar Wilde. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. It's said by our Mahatma Gandhi. And the only constant in life is the change. This is by Hercules. And this last important thing, this is Hercules has said, is the change is the only constant in the life, also applicable to market, also applicable to technology. So be ready for the change, right? And my advice to you all guys, that take care of yourself from COVID, stay home, save lives. and thank you. I am thankful for all these staff members of Sandeep Institute for giving me an opportunity to talk with your students and you people, and of course all the participants that have patiently listened to me. And I'm ending my presentation. Thank you very much. Moderator, you can take over the control now if somebody has to. Hello, Gayatri ma'am, you can take care.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable views and thoughts related to electronics era, previous, current, and in coming future too. You have covered all the aspects, sir. Thank you very much. I'm sure students might have benefited with these contents. Now, forum is open to the students. You can ask your questions in chat box.
Yeah, I'm looking into the chat box. If somebody has something, they can raise the hand and then ask the questions.